I thought she was on a work trip, but she was in Paris with her ex. Now she wants me back. And what I did at the gate broke her. I'm a 31-year-old guy. My wife, let's call her Natalie, 29, and I were married for exactly 19 days before I found out she'd flown to Paris. With her ex. Not for closure. Not for a final goodbye. But for what she called a creative retreat. And she didn't expect me to find out. We'd been together 4 years before tying the knot. Natalie's a freelance travel writer, so I was used to her taking spontaneous trips. But I never expected her honeymoon follow-up to be a week-long escape with the guy she used to call her great unfinished story. This is the story of how I found out my new wife lied, flew across the world with her ex. And how I left her sobbing at the airport with a single sentence. I work in IT, mostly remote, which meant I could support her dream lifestyle. She'd bounce between jobs, editing gigs, occasional photography, a few viral articles, but money was tight on her side. So I covered most bills without complaint. Rent, car, even the honeymoon to Italy? All me. I didn't mind, honestly. I believed in her. Believed in us. She said our wedding was the happiest day of her life. Said she'd never felt safer with anyone. Then she left for Paris. She told me it was a sponsored trip. A luxury eco-resort wanted coverage, and it was too big of an opportunity to turn down. She even showed me a fake email. I didn't think twice. I even packed her suitcase. She left a love note on my pillow the night before her flight. I had no idea it was goodbye. 4 days after she left, I was having drinks with her cousin Lisa. We were close, closer than Natalie ever liked, if I'm honest, but that night she seemed weird. Tense. She asked, "How's Natalie enjoying Bordeaux?" I blinked. What? Didn't she tell you she landed in Paris and took the train down with? She stopped mid-sentence, face pale. With who? That's when my stomach dropped. She tried to backpedal, but the damage was done. I pressed. She resisted. I insisted. And then she broke. Natalie's with Adrian. Her ex. They met up in Paris. Adrian. The guy she dated in her early 20s. The guy she once told me ruined her idea of love but left a mark that never quite faded. The guy she'd sworn she blocked years ago. I went home. Checked our shared iPad. Her iMessages were still syncing. She hadn't deleted anything. Texts. Photos. Flight confirmations. A dinner under the Eiffel Tower. A blurry selfie in bed. A message from her, "It still feels like us." I sat there for 3 hours, just staring at the screen. Then I emailed every screenshot to myself. Backed them up twice. Printed them. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stopped feeling anything at all. The day after Natalie returned from Paris, I invited her parents over. She didn't know I had done that. I printed everything, texts, photos, even the fake sponsor email, and put them in a neat little folder labeled "Your Daughter's Creative Retreat." Her dad, Richard, was the first to arrive. Former cop. Quiet type. Not one to speak unless it mattered. Her mom, Janice, came in smiling. Until she saw my face. That smile faded fast. Natalie showed up 10 minutes later, clearly expecting a reconciliation. Instead, she walked into a war room. I handed the folder to her dad. He flipped through it without saying a word. Page after page. His expression didn't change, not even once. But then, he looked at her and said, "You lied to him. To us. You told your mother you were in France for work. You let her tell all her friends how proud she was of you. All the while, you were playing house with your ex." Natalie whispered, "Dad." But he held up a hand. "No, I don't want to hear your voice right now." Then Janice spoke, and it broke me more than Natalie ever could. "You always do this, Nat. Always chase what's shiny. You want passion and excitement, and the moment life starts to look like commitment, you run. He deserved better. And I'm ashamed of how we raised you." That was the first time I saw Natalie cry without trying to manipulate someone. And I didn't feel a thing. Her parents left without hugging her. They hugged me, though. Richard actually said, "If you ever need anything, help moving, a ride, hell, bail money, you call me." Janice emailed me a week later with a full apology. Told me they cut Natalie off financially and were making her pay back the down payment they contributed to the wedding. Natalie posted a black screen on Instagram the next day with the caption, "Sometimes family hurts you worse than strangers." The comments? Brutal. Even her own cousin Lisa replied, "Maybe don't cheat on your husband then?" Yeah. She lost a lot more than just me. By the way, if you're still listening and wondering how this mess unravels, like and subscribe. Because it gets worse. Or better. depending on your taste for karma. Fallout. She moved in with a friend. Her parents, normally her biggest defenders, were stunned when I showed them the messages. Her mom cried. Her dad said one sentence, "You made your choice. Live with it." A week later, Natalie started calling again. She missed me. She wanted to talk. She thought maybe we could work through this. Her therapist, yes, she started seeing one, told her that running away from commitment is a trauma response, and I needed to show compassion. I told her my compassion got lost somewhere over the Atlantic. I wasn't planning to retaliate. Honestly, I wanted to walk away clean. But Natalie made that impossible. She started spreading rumors, told mutual friends that I was emotionally abusive, that I isolated her, and that I was so obsessed with work she felt neglected into the arms of another man. She even told her freelance editor I'd threatened to ruin her career, a lie so ridiculous it would have been funny if it hadn't cost me a few professional contacts. So I stopped being passive. I had receipts. I had witnesses. And I had nothing to lose. First, I wrote a formal complaint to the magazine where she freelanced most often. I didn't embellish anything. I just laid out the facts, how she faked sponsor emails, impersonated a brand, and used their name to justify a personal trip. I attached screenshots. She lost the contract in 24 hours. Blacklisted from their network. Then I called a contact in Toronto, the editor-in-chief of a travel media agency that once offered her a gig. He also happened to be a friend of mine from college. I didn't ask him to blacklist her. I just told him the truth. She never got a call back after that. Next? The landlord of her friend's apartment, the one she crashed at after the fallout. Turns out the lease was under her friend's boyfriend's name. And he? He worked with me at a tech conference once. Small world. I told him everything. Gave him the screenshots, dates, even proof of Natalie trashing me online while squatting in his apartment rent-free. She got kicked out within a week. Adrian, the great Paris fantasy? He ghosted her. 3 weeks after she got back. She texted him 4 times, no reply. Her last message read, "I told him I left my husband. That this was real. He said he never asked me to." I didn't even smile. I just felt done. She thought showing up at my gate with old love notes and a tear-stained apology would change everything. Instead, she stood there, mascara running, holding a scrapbook of our life like it was a time machine. And I told her, "The plane's boarding, and your seat's not next to mine." She broke. Loud sobbing. People watching. Her dad stepped in, grabbed her bag, and said the line that will live in my head rent-free. "You're not following him to fix anything. You're following him to break something else. Let's go." I boarded that flight. Met someone new at that conference. Signed a new client contract the next week. Still posting vague quotes and black and white selfies with captions like, "Some people never see the real you until it's too late." She's right, in a way. Because I saw her too late. But now I see everything clearly. And what I see is freedom.